Welcome back, everybody, to another video on the Human Blueprint Challenge. And I'm really happy you're joining me today because we're going to untangle the belief that really got me. And if you've watched my email before about me introducing myself a little bit, you'll understand how bad this one got me and how actually this belief has led me to do what I do in holistic health. But before we do that, yesterday we touched upon being too stressed or too busy to train and how it's our complicated programs trying to fit into a busy lifestyle that's often the problem, and how by breaking it down and making small chunks of time to ourselves that we can achieve every day and gradually adding things into these chunks is going to make a difference, especially when we're trying to cultivate this motivation going forward. So some of you may find this easy, some of you may find this more challenging depending on your lifestyle. So just take your time. If you feel like you can do a couple of these 5 minutes, excellent. The more space you can create for yourself whilst creating momentum, the better. And over the course, what we're going to do is add little habits and little pieces of the content of the course into these 5 minutes. We're going to allow those to build and create momentum as we go through, adding a little bit more each time so that we can continue this and continue to water these seeds long after this challenge finishes. So like I say, this brings us to the belief that we have to be 100% of the time. Now, this belief is so crippling to so many people, and I see this so often, including myself. The way this used to make me feel was terrible because I would hold myself to such a standard. And if I ate a tiny piece of chocolate, or if I didn't hit my training program like 5 or 6 times a week, I would feel tremendous guilt. I would hold myself to so much pressure. And it was all self-inflicted. It really, really was. And it got to the point where I just didn't feel comfortable in my skin. I really find this difficult to articulate because looking back, it feels like a different person. But it really did make me feel small and not confident. I lost so much trust in myself because, you know, I set this bar up so high. And if I wasn't up here, which was such a crazy expectation, and if I dropped below it, this just space here is where I felt terrible. And if I wasn't up onto this, above this bar, I would feel pretty shit. So I was holding myself to this standard, and it wasn't necessary. It was self-inflicted. I really don't want anybody to feel like that. Why? Because it's not necessary. It's not healthy, and it's not coming from the inside out, right? It's not nourishing. It's not nurturing, and it's not essential. You don't need to do it, so why do it? Okay. When I learned this technique, once I started to take the pressure off myself, I became confident because I was confident that I can do what I was setting out to do. I built up this trust in myself. Every time that I failed to live up to this expectation, it kind of took a little bit. I started to, like I said before, just not trust myself, and this confidence isn't a nice place to be. What we're trying to do is build confidence, build momentum, and build this healthy, enjoyable experience that we're trying to create. So like I said, this was my big one. It creates too much pressure, and it's not necessary, everybody. It really, really isn't. I don't want you to feel like this. So hopefully this will take that pressure off. And this is why I've created this challenge as well. So how do we balance out this mindset? Well, first of all, we have to ground to ourselves. We have to sit down, we have to plan, and we have to kind of look ahead and look where we've been. You know, where have we been? Where are we going? Now, we can do that each week. And this is such a fundamental part of my life. Every Sunday, I'll sit down, I'll plan my week ahead because it gets all my thoughts out my head. It stops them going round and round and round. And if I don't plan, I'll go into the week without having a direction. I feel like I'm just going from here to here and here and not actually making progress in a specific task. And all this does for me, if I'm being completely honest, I'll just procrastinate and I will put it off. Right? But if I know I have a task and I know there's a clear direction, this really works for my mind. What this does, it creates us an opportunity for us to look ahead, see what obstacles are coming and plan around them. So say you have a busy day on a Wednesday, and you know you won't be able to get food at work because you've got such a busy day of meetings. What you can do then Tuesday, I'll make sure that I have all my food prepped for Wednesday because I know Wednesday I can't do it. So look after your Wednesday self on Tuesday. Okay. And what this stops you rush into the supermarket and get in a really quick lunch that you know probably isn't the best for you, or drinking 4 coffees to get you through the day. So you can start to overcome obstacles that you foresee before they happen. Also gives you the opportunity to look at the week beforehand, take the strengths from that. So all the good stuff that you did, yes, I want more of that, please. Take that and whack that into the next week. Happy days, right? We're learning from our past, bringing our strengths forward. Anything that wasn't so good, or something that we struggled with, well, why? Okay, we can understand why we struggled a little bit, or what didn't go so well. Is this just a one-off? If it is, okay, well, we could just accept that, let it go, and put our efforts into next week. If it's a reoccurring thing, then we can address that. Take the positives from it and bring them forward. So the first part of the task today is to pick a day that works for you to plan, where you sit down, ground with yourself, look at what's gone before in the previous week, and look ahead to the next week. This is going to be fundamental. Now, this doesn't get rid of the belief that we have to be 100% of the time, does it? No. What this does is just gives us a point of our week where we sit down and reflect. Now, within that space, within your planning that week, we are going to put a structure in that's going to take the pressure off. Can you remember the power of tiny gains? Can you remember momentum and how we are going to make this simple? Okay. And by doing 20% consistently creates this exponential growth. Well, this is a bit of a structure that's going to help do that. And what I do, I call this the 2-for-1, or the plan A, plan B, plan C, traffic light system, whatever you want. And what this is 2 days a week, you're going to have a goal day, which is the time you're on your plan A. This is your best day, because I know 2 days out of 7, you can do this. Okay, you can hit your plan 95 to 100% for 2 days a week. And that's it. That's where we complete all our habits. We do our exercise. We eat according to our energy and our nutrient preferences. We'll talk about that later. And we're just on it, right? These are the days that are brilliant for you. Mine are Monday and Friday. Monday after the weekend, you've normally had a bit of a treat. You've been a bit more relaxed, and you're right, and you're ready, you're motivated. Friday, I like to go into the weekend with some good, solid momentum. So that on Saturday and Sunday, because I've had a Friday is a really good day, I'm less likely to just go completely off the rails and just have a great time. Less likely to happen. I like to do this on a Friday. It just keeps a nice steady structure for the weekend. But you could pick whatever days you want. Okay, you could pick whatever days you want on this one. So whatever's good for you, pick your 2 days, and that's the task for today. We're going to put this structure in. Then we're going to have 4 silver days. This is where we're about 70 to 80%. Right, so we're not 100% on these days. So if you want to go for a meal out, go for a meal out. It's all part of the plan. Okay, it takes the pressure off. If you have a bit of a chocolate or a bit of a biscuit at work, great. That's fine. It really doesn't matter, because why? We've planned for it, and there's freedom in this to do these things. Okay, so this 4 silver days is kind of your consistent effort. This is where the motivation is above our simple line, and this is good. So work on your NEAT rather than your training. This will all become apparent later. So once we've done these kind of NEAT videos and the nutrition videos, maybe come back to this and start to plan your week around it. So at the end of the challenge, you can probably put a few more habits into this plan. And then a bronze day. Around about 50% of our efforts are on a bronze day. So if we come off the plan, so what? It's fine. You planned it in. Okay. If you have a day where you go way over your energy targets or your nutrient targets, your energy targets, sorry, they're great. What this really does for me here is, so if you plan on a Sunday and I know that I've got a works due next Friday, well, straight away, there's my bronze day, because I'm going to have a few beers. Or I would have had a few beers. I'm going to have a takeaway, or I'm going to have some chocolate, whatever. You can have you're going to be a bit more relaxed with yourself. If you have a wedding, if you have any event where you're not going to have a gold day, make it your bronze day. And then we know that if you do all this, you hit your 2 days, you hit your 4 days, and you hit your bronze day, then you've completed your set program. from the previous week, you've hit your targets, and there's a lot of room and freedom within this to not create that unnecessary pressure of being 100% of the time. You don't need to do 7 gold days to make progress. This is why I tripped up. You can see why this is completely unnecessary. Now, I've also put here the no plan, because there's going to be days where you need a bloody rest. You're not feeling like you want to do these. You just don't want to think about a plan. You don't want to think about anything. You know, you're just feeling a bit meh, or you're feeling a bit poorly, or whatever. I want you to think of a day where, if things are going pitong, or you just want a day off, you need to rest, you need to nurture yourself, you just need some time to yourself. I want you to have the no plan. This is where you think of all your favorite things to do. Have a bath, everything that nurtures you, right? Have comfort, vibrant food that's going to make you feel good. Watch your favorite films. Do absolutely nothing. We all have our little things, okay, that we go to, our easy things, our escapism, whatever this is. So if things are going a bit wayward, you could say, right, initiate the no plan, okay? And then we have still created a plan. We're still looking ahead, so that when something like this happens, we have a tool that we can say, right, this is going on. This is going to nurture my energy. This is going to look after me. This is going to help me get my energy back so that I can continue to make my best life. Okay, so can you see how this starts to reduce pressure within our life? Now, in the questions in the group, ask any questions about this. So if you want any examples or you want any advice for creating this, please get at me in the group. So we're hoping this makes sense. 2 gold days, 95 to 100%. I know you can do that. 4 silver days, 70 to 80. A bronze day, around 50. If you don't want your bronze day, you don't have to take it. Okay, if you are motivated and you continue, right, I'll make it a silver day, happy days. Soon, this won't even be a part of your life where you sit down and put your days in. It will just be something that you do. Like I've said so many times, this is a tool, like tracing paper, like stabilizers on a bike. When you get used to it, when you start to get comfortable, you start to take the stabilizers off. You know, you won't be always planning golden days and silver days, or plan A and plan B. But until you really get comfortable with what this looks like, you know, it's just a way that we can bridge that gap. Right. Okay, task for today. Choose your day to plan and create your 2-4-1 week. So there's a form in the words that's going to help you create your 2-4-1 week. Share with the group. Share when you complete the task. And also, if you have any ideas about what your no plan is, your bronze day is, your silver and gold day, add them to the group. Can you imagine if we had over 100 replies of everyone's gold, silver and bronze day? Everyone would be able to just take that, right, I have everything I need here. So the more you put in, the more you support other people, the more you get support back. Right, guys, this one is so fundamental and a lovely way of taking the pressure off, but still keeping on our plan. Let me know how it goes. Lots of love. Speak to you soon.